Hi Geminis, and welcome to your April 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the lovely energies coming in for your sign in the month of April. Welcome back, Geminis. I hope that you are feeling really nice, airy, light, and easy coming into this wonderful equinox month. After the equinox, we have come into the astrological new year now, and there is a great, easy, transcending process in front of you if you would like to have that. For those of you who are new, I so hope you'll hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to be doing some intuitive messages in this video. I'm going to look at the week to week for Gemini in April, and then I'll do an extended reading on Patreon for those of you who are looking for more. Okay, so intuitive messages for Gemini in April. It feels like things can be a little bit undercooked. You have a great capacity to feel that your life is really different, and with that feeling, you could start to really go wild in a sense. You could really start a lot of new projects, a lot of new industrious things. It feels coming up for Geminis. It feels like you have a very innovative and kind of enterprising nature coming in. I'm sensing a lot of like merchant Geminis, so some of you might be wanting to start that new business or start that new labor of love. You've got that Eight of Pentacles coming up, and I keep getting my attention drawn to that, so I'm feeling that many of you are working hard and trying to create something of value, create a new structure that is valuable in your life, and you're encouraged to do so in this month. At the same time, try to not demand too much of yourself, because it's not all going to quite come together yet, I feel. There's a kind of a feeling of Gemini wanting everything yesterday, wanting everything to have happened by now, and it's going to take you getting back to your time of the year into late May and early June before things really come through. And for some of you, it's even like August of 2021 before it's really like material. It's interesting. The Gemini-Sagittarius axis is actually kind of lagging a little bit in some of these material changes that many other signs are going through. On one hand, you can feel it and you know that it's happening, but many of you are still kind of living and existing in the previous accustomed way. And try to not demand yourself to make that change and do it haphazardly. Okay, there's a need for Gemini to really sail smoothly, to really move skillfully through this time. You've got a few heavy things, okay? You've got Five of Swords, Eight of Swords, Justice reversed coming up, and then you've got the High Priestess and the Hierophant too. So it is surprisingly, I mean, I'm not surprised actually, because if you saw some of my other videos, I've talked about the Sun-Chiron conjunction that happens in Aries. So it's made this Aries season a little bit more dark, a little bit more wounded healer energy. You know, Chiron is the known archetypally as the wounded healer. So the sun is illuminating wounds and healing processes this month. So it's kind of a very psycho-spiritual time, more so than usual. And it seems that you are working with that to a degree. So I think if you feel that you're not making the progress that you wanted, try to not get too caught up in that. It seems like a lot of your progress is happening inside. Okay, it's happening mentally, it's happening spiritually, okay, and it's less material for you. I've got to say, it's a little bit less of a material change coming in for Gemini in April, whereas for many of the other signs, except for like Gemini and Sagittarius, it's very material. So try to not get worried about that. Another intuitive message that I'm feeling for you is the need to have more joy and fun. Okay, I talked a lot about this in the Aries video actually, so if you have Aries placements, definitely check that out. But it could be possible that you're pursuing everything but fun, or fun and enjoyment and lightness are just not getting the priority that they need. That's very in alignment with the previous year of 2020 that we went through. But now that we have this stronger airy Aquarian energy of Jupiter and Saturn, it requires an amount of fun to calibrate our next path, okay? Without the fun factor or without some amount of joy, it's very difficult to motivate Aquarius energy, okay? So just keep that in mind. You might actually do something fun this month, or actually set out to enjoy more, and I think that it will give you more as well. Okay. Last intuitive message I'm feeling for Gemini in April is discovery. Okay. It's kind of going in tune with what we were just talking about, but discovery is the word that's coming up, and it's really like bolded and really clear. So probably not the best idea to keep everything the same, to keep the same exact food, the same exact stimulation, the same exact, style, or something needs to be discovered, something needs to be seen, and something needs to be lighter as well, like the discovery of a lighter, less heavy, energetic reality. Okay, heaviness has got to come down. The weight of your world, the weight of the world on your shoulders has got to decrease. Okay, leading up to your season, so that you can perhaps carry more or carry something different at that time. Okay, and discovering more fun, lighthearted, enjoyable avenues is a big part of what your month kind of demands of you. And then also with the High Priestess and the Hierophant coming up as well, Eight of Pentacles, Six of Swords, the discovery of what has held you back, the discovery or revelation of what has been impeding progress in your life. It's a very discovery-oriented month for you. So don't freak out about it. Like, whatever comes to your attention, it might kind of catch you off guard. It might be a bit of a shock or a surprise to finally know someone's true nature, to finally discover someone's intentions, to finally discover the momentum of what you trusted in for so long was not at all what you thought it would be. Okay. And quick pivots or quick movements are still, I think, a good manifestation for you right now. So don't be afraid of changes, but at the same time, don't demand or force them either. It's like that really important middle ground. But let's talk about the week to week Geminis. In the first week, we've been talking about it already. High Priestess, the Hierophant, very, very strong spiritual discovery, very strong, key to a lock that has impeded you for a while. You're finally getting into a space that you've struggled to get to. You're finally maybe accessing an area that's been hard for you to come to. And it's good to look at why, why was it so hard to get here? Why has this been so difficult? Is it really right? Seeing the positive and negative lens of what you're in thoroughly. Okay. Also just getting, to the truth. Okay. Truth of a situation, instead of like the gossip, or instead of the impression, or instead of the words of others, or opinions of others, or feelings of others. Seeing your truth, or the truth of what a situation is vital for that first week, so that you can remember how that works. So second week, you've got the Five of Swords rated down by Eight of Swords. It can be hard to see the truth. That's kind of like a reaction to the truth. Understanding that what you thought was going to be so profitable, or what you thought was going to be so promising, has actually ended up being a bit of like a prison, or ended up being a bit of a impediment, or obstruction, or obstacle. Eight of Swords rooting down Five of Swords is like that which makes me feel victorious, that which makes me feel like I have the upper hand, has actually confined me in some way. And I didn't realize that incredible job, that incredible high-paying job would actually be so confining. I didn't realize that person that everybody wanted to be with would actually be very controlling. I didn't realize that that pursuit of freedom in a way became its own confine. So that which has become a confine, or that which has now inhibited your freedom or lightness, lightness of spirit, lack of heaviness, should now really be visible, okay, and graspable. Because breathing, okay, it's really important. Like, I keep getting the word, what am I getting? It's like easiness of breathing, easiness of respiration becomes like the main thing, especially leading up to your very airy, beautiful, incredible Gemini season, although Aries and Taurus season really demand a lot of you to get there. And you're moving into Taurus season, third week of April, with the Eight of Pentacles rooted down by Justice reversed. So you're working really hard, and I feel that you might be taking yourself too far with things, or you might be demanding too much of yourself, or you might be overworking yourself. Watch out for overworking. Watch out for pushing yourself too hard for a result. it's like an unfair amount of work or an unfair amount of labor. Or contrarily, this can also mean that you just don't feel the same way about the concept of work or the concept of creation. Both of those things might have a very different judgment from you. Like you look at them very differently. Like you consider what work is or what the creative process is very differently, and have a new idea of how to implement that. So that's a positive way to work with it. It's like, how can I re-implement? Like self-employment might be coming up for some of you. Eight of Pentacles is like the self-employment card, in my opinion. And some of you might kind of be feeling like, wow, this is not as free as I thought. Like some of you who have been self-employed for a while, you're like, gosh, wow, this is actually a much higher level of need for work ethic and time management than anything I've ever done. So that's kind of a difficult thing for a lot of people right now. And I think that the true key and the true challenge coming up with that is like, what do I like to do? What actually makes me feel rewarded when I do it? What am I building this for? Like it can be a bit existential. It can be a bit harsh to wake up to some of those difficulties regarding what our energy is going to. And there are definitely like injustices there for sure. And that might be something that you're really coming to terms with or seeing in the third week. Okay. So it's a lot to digest, but I think that it really is an important part, where your energy is going, how much energy it's taking, how much time it's taking to do some of the things you've set out to do is important in really grasping the totality of your life right now. So week 4, you've got the 3 of Cups rooted down by 6 of Swords. And it seems like you're moving on. It seems like certain relationships, certain acquaintanceships, certain friendships, even in your life, you might be moving away from in the 4th week, or people are kind of moving away from you, or you've woken up and realized that there are not a lot of connecting points anymore to the people who were once really strongly connected to you. And I think that has to be a celebration. This is a very common time of the year where there can be disconnects, where there can be detachment from people of the past, or just a realization that there are now like empty slots in your life for like relationships or friendships or connecting points. So who might you like to connect with? It's a great time to revisit what that looks like for you. Like, what are my standards for people who are in my life? Like, what do I want to set in that way? And it's a great time to actually meet new friends, or to come into contact with people who you've not had context with. But I will say that there is a sense with the 6 of Swords of really moving away, or really making so much progress that your energy and your vibration has changed so much that it's just really hard to feel contextual with people who have been in your life for a super long time. It doesn't mean that you're disconnecting from like everybody in your life at all, but it does mean that the relationships that were getting old or stale, or were actually not genuine, really cannot stay. So I'm feeling that pretty strongly for you all. What else? Overall, though, in the month of April, you are kind of connecting the dots of all of the things which are just like not huge issues, not huge problems, but are important to be optimized or calibrated to get you to your season and really have that beautiful experience. I will say the Gemini experience to me feels very magical in your time of the year, and we'll see what happens in May, because some of you will be aging up in May. But especially by June, I'm feeling like June 12th, June 13th, 14th, 15th for to be like a magical time for all Gemini people. And knowing that that's coming up, I know that you guys might have a few obstacles or a few tests leading up to that. So just keep it in mind. But ultimately already much lighter, okay, much less heavy than the previous year. Okay, already off to a better start. But anyway, Geminis, thank you so much. I'm going to do an extended reading for you over on Patreon. You can click the center of your screen now to check that out. I do weekly forecasts, and we'll look into some of the methods you can use to overcome some of this heaviness and prosper more in this month ahead. So let's check that out now. Much love, Gemini. See you soon. Bye.